Hello everyone, and welcome to version A-26-a of the game Full Death Roguelike. Um, there has been massive reworks since the last version I uploaded. There's now a game tutorial. I will not be going through that in this video. If you'd like to check it out, I'll be posting a demo to itch.io soon. You can now load saved games from the records menu, as well as that's where the tutorial is. You just save the game by going to this menu by pressing ESC, and you can have sound options. So, with no further ado, let's begin. The big change to the ship is that it's much smaller now. Previously, the tutorial was part of the opening ship. I've now moved the tutorial elsewhere, making the ship cozier. We'll start by picking up our dactyl, then moving over and grabbing one of these weapons. You can click here to look at your character sheet. We do get told we can use the numpad key or mouse buttons. I'll be using mouse primarily, but everything is doable with the keyboard as well, as per classic roguelike style. I mostly prefer mouse because it's what I'm used to, just being lazy and doing it with sort of not much access to the keyboard, but I have played a lot with keyboard, and I've got a playtester that plays almost exclusively with keyboard, so very little complaints from them. They did have a complaint about the targeting, but I just recently added smart targeting, so I might go into that when I am playing. So with that, I think I'll actually pick the ranged weapon. You can see down the bottom it has a reach, which means that it's a ranged weapon, and it also has range 3. Your other options are the hammer. This is a random weapon. It can be worse or better than average. This one is a melee weapon, and based on those stats, I'd say it's probably slightly better than average. You can also start with a caster tooling, but we won't be doing that today. Today we'll be doing the carbine. So I'll click these to equip them. You can see I've got my carbine now and my dactyl. There's now images along with everything. The manifestations all now have images as well, which is kind of cool and fun. All the stats get explained what they do and how they work. We have a quest screen. So at the moment you can see that we need to leave the control ship. This is the control ship with the cockpit up there. We'll need to conquer some dungeons, acquire artifacts, and then eventually we defeat the Emperor. What have we done? Nothing noteworthy yet. We have renown as well with various factions, resonance, and stability, which I'll go into more detail later. For now, let's cover the menu that does nothing. Currently the Genovator, this thing here, does nothing. It's not implemented yet. That's to come in a future version. The Atomizer, though, does do things. It can dispense a key, a tape, or a fuel. Now you start off with, you might have seen, 3 resonance. You can spend that at the Atomizer or at the Resonator. We're not that interested in revealing a tier 2 dungeon just yet, so we won't be using this, but it is good to check out what is on offer at the Resonator. For us, 7, 6, 13 Empire Renown. There's also some 7 Volters, 6 Pantheon, 8 Volters, so Volters wouldn't be a bad pickup. There's an artifact, which is footwear. There's an artifact footwear for 20 resonance. Good to collect artifacts, so we might want to do that. But we won't be able to do it until we get back from our first dungeon. A trade item as well, so trade items can be used at settlements. I think to start off with, I usually like getting a tape to increase my survivability, and a key, because that way you can have a good chance of unlocking a high level chest that may or may not spawn in the first dungeon, or otherwise just avoid some damage of a lock. So that cost us 2 resonance. We now only have 1. Stability is not much you have to worry about in the first part of the game. If it gets low enough, you're forced to end the game, so it's good just to keep it up to a certain point. In the demo, it doesn't play too much of a role. You can extend your game ever so slightly, but because the demo is relatively short, you're most likely to not pay attention to this. So we've got 2 alien planets and an oceanic planet. Actually, these are, see if I say that right, Chthonic planet, which is equivalent to alien. We can go to an alien nest. We now have mission info. So in this one, there's one objective, which is to kill the Juggernaut. We'll get 12 resonance and an equipment, which is pretty good. This one is a water shrine. Again, one objective to kill the Liz Queen. We'll get 2 stability and an equipment. Like I said, we don't really care too much about stability. It does affect the threat level, which is a scaling amount of difficulty of dungeons. So that might not be too bad, but I think we can do better. Or a research lab. Here we want to redeem the prisoners, so there'll be 12 prisoners in the dungeon that we need to free. And we'll get 1 Empire Renown, as well as 11 Empire Renown total. So I think to show off the settlements, we'll be going with Research Lab. And Research Lab is also, in my opinion, probably the best starter dungeon. It's probably been the most designed. Interesting fact is it was the first dungeon that I created, so it's been through the most iterations. And with that, I think we can actually just jump into it and launch mission. So we arrive here. One of the other changes is there's a lot more dungeon hazards in this version, so the toxicity plays an important role. We're just left clicking on these enemies to shoot them. Because our range goes... So if you look at our reach, it goes 1, 2, 3. So from 1 to 2, we do the smaller of these 2 damages, 5. And from 2 to 3, we do the large one, 7. So really it's just at 1, we do 5, and between 2 and 3, we do the 7. It will automatically detect which is the higher damage. That's because our carbine has a minimum reach of 2, and our dag tool goes up to 2. But it is actually better in this case to swipe at the vermin because our attack is 6. So we'll do that. And he managed to dodge it and take minimal damage, but that's okay. We take a little bit of our first hit, and he drops a set of shoes. So I'll show off the smart targeting here. Previously, your targeter would always start on yourself, but here it starts on these shoes. And it's the same with the shooting as well. So if I press the F button, oh, that was the D button. I won't pick that back up. There we go. It'll start on the enemy. So that makes playing with the keyboard a lot easier when it comes to being a ranged character. But I'm playing with mouse, so it doesn't affect me too much. Now, this is a new sort of dungeon event that I implemented where a bunch of a dungeon hazard will spawn around an item. I have to make the call here whether I think it's worth stepping into the toxic, which will do some damage to me, to get this piece of armor. Now it's green, which is quite good. We got some shoddy coverings, so these are decent. These are worth wearing. Their negative stats are not worse than their positive stats, so I'll definitely equip those. Now, items go from junk to common to good to excellent to rare to artifact, and then there's several different types of artifacts. But for now, this is basically like a tier 3 item, so I think it's worth taking the damage from the toxicity, and we can heal up with the duct tape. So we'll step into it. You can see down here in the effects, we got a poisoned 3, and we'll take some poison damage and we'll stack up some more poison when we are standing in it. So we go now to poison 4, we step out, and we open this chest. So I'm going to put this on. So overall from that poison we took 7, 10, 13 damage, but I think 13 damage is definitely worth this decent piece of armor. Junk contraption does damage. We don't really care about that. See how that's junk tooling. You can hover over items or you can inspect them this way with the inspect button just to see if it's worth picking an item up. So here for this, we might keep that around for now. The unlockableness of it, so IPL here is 6, or item effect is 6. You can see it here and down here. So it'll be 6 times 1.2. It does round up, but in this case it would round down because 1.2 times 6 is 7.2, so it'll round down to 7. But if it was 7.5, it'd round up to 8. Plus the 4, so that's 11. So unlocking locks of 11 is quite good. We have one to do 27s, and with a relatively high accuracy, we'll probably drop this tooling, but for now we'll keep it. Now I could step through this toxic, but I will take from it about 6 damage, so I'm going to try and avoid stepping through there. And instead see if I can find another way around. Oh, we meet our first scientist. If you're a ranged character, you can just engage them at ranged. But what I'm trying to show here is that if you're a melee character, it's good just to back off and find a corner against a ranged enemy, and then hide there, and he'll run up, and then you can jump him when he comes to come around the corner. So it's a little fun little extra tactical bit to the game, but we're just going to shoot him. And we've gained our first level. So when you gain a level, you gain a few things. You gain a character point, which I will spend on... I think I would suggest Constitution, even for a ranged character, as the first point, and then after that I go into Dexterity. If you run low on carry, it's good to get either a Power or Athletics, because they increase your carry capacity. Constitution is really good because it increases your hit points, which is best at the start of the game. By the time you're at the end of the game, you probably have somewhere between 200 and 400 hit points. So you're not really caring about 8, whereas at the start when we only have 60, 8 is a noticeable improvement. And similarly with defense, near the end of the game, enemies and yourself are doing close to 100 damage, so the defense number is much less meaningful, whereas now you'll see they're only doing a single digit, so the defense is noticeable. Defense is roughly, you take on average about 50% of the defense value less. So on average, with a defense of 8, I'll be taking about 4 less damage. So that's quite good, is basically boosting that number to reduce the amount of damage I take. If I eventually get a high enough dexterity and also the manifestation that gives ranged, then I can basically shoot enemies before they get a chance to damage me, so Constitution counts less. But even then, for avoiding, if I step through hazards, I want to reduce the amount of damage that I take. I might use my roll of duct tape now, just because when you're low, it's good to use these items sometimes before you get into trouble. The other thing that I got when I leveled up was an LP, a level point. They can be used to heal 30% health, 30% suit points, or to teleport 2 spaces. Most likely I'll be using it to heal at some stage in the near future, so keep an eye on that. So shoot that guy. These are locks. You do get XP now when you undo a lock, but I don't think you get about 50% of the lock power. I don't think that's worth it in this case, just to unlock it to take the extra damage. But once you have higher dexterity, this expected explosion goes down. We could use our crew chunk to unlock it, but again, we don't need to. Oh, there we go. So here's our prisoner. We will walk up to him, and we can either walk into him or left-click him. We'll just left-click him. So we gained renown, and he told us about the Scrap Haven, which is their place where they exist. It's a neutral settlement for the Empire, and we have satisfied an objective, so you can go into your quests. We successfully left the control ship, but now we now have complete the mission. So it tells us that we get +1 Empire renown per objective, and there's 12 objectives. We now have satisfied one of those 12, and we get 11 Empire Renown when we complete the mission. So if we rescue all 12. Oh, there we go. He dropped a old battery, which we'll pick up. You can scroll through the different types of things you're looking at by using the mouse wheel. Is this door... With our high defense, we don't mind taking the explosion. We'll resist all this damage. And I'll be able to show you that I destroyed a lock by manipulating it. I took 0 damage because I defended all the damage from it, and I gained 1 XP. So it's good to usually unlock locks if you're not going to take any damage, or if you don't mind taking damage. Ooh, here we go, Tier 3, Mutant. This is where it might be worth actually using our level point to teleport. We could use it to, we could just take the damage. I might do a quick calculation. He'll probably stack on us at least 3 poison. So that's 6 damage plus, even if we resist, it's like 4. So he's doing about 10 damage per hit. We take 2 less hits with a teleport, so that's 20. And it's about the same. So I might just shoot him, and I'll still, I think, teleport back here and shoot him again. Shoot him again. He's still on us. So let's actually just see how much we would be able to heal. How much we would take if we stay in combat with him. So I will hit him. So yeah, we're taking. Let's see. Ooh, we defended all damage from his attack, but we are now poisoned. Another trick with poisoned enemies and enemies that debuff you, it's actually best to step away from them to stop their stacking, so that when you do get to attack again, they're reapplying a whole new buff. So we again defended all damage, which is good. But yeah, this guy is gonna hurt us. Attack again. Oh boy. We're on 6 health, so we might want to use our level point to heal. So we healed with it. Step back. And we got him. There we go. So he was quite a tough enemy for this point in the game. We weren't doing much damage to him relative to, percentage-wise. We'll just rescue this guy, and I'll step back to try and maximize the amount of shots that I get off on him. Ooh. So yeah, we're struggling at the moment in this one. We don't care about that because that's junk, and we got our green one. We will put on our Splinter Resolve gloves. And yes, we will avoid, if we see another level 3, then we will probably use our LP to teleport away. We gained a level, and this time we also have a manifestation point. So I do want to go into dexterity now. I think 1 point was enough. And we do have excellent ranger. So I suggest for most characters you want to pick the damage one first. So if you're going hybrid of ranged and melee, then you take this one. If you're going range, you take this one. If you're going melee, you take this one. And if we were going for a caster, we would probably take this one here. So we'll take ranged damage, which significantly buffs our damage. We gained 7, so we went from 10 and 12 to 17, 19. So that means we should be able to kill a lot more enemies before they get shots off on us. I want to try and avoid that lock if I can, so I might come back to it. Come around this corner. So you see we now kill those rats in 1 shot, whereas before it took 2 or 3 shots, or even 4 shots in some cases. We already have white gloves, so we don't care about junk ones. Generally speaking, the higher level is better. There are some instances where you will like a green might be comparable to an excellent if it was in your stats. So for example, this one's in intelligence, evasion, and defense. If there was one that was a green that was 2 dexterity versus an excellent that was, say, 3 power, we'd probably still rather the 2 dexterity. So it is good to check it out, but generally at this point in the game, junk versus common, I ignore it because it's not going to make a huge difference in my opinion. Depends on how bad you want a power game. That's the glory of FDRL, is it lets you choose how much you want to care about these kinds of things. Whether you're, oh boy, there's lots of scientists in there. Okay, so here we go. Wait. You can right click on yourself to wait a turn or press the 5 button like you do in most roguelikes. So we should be able to kill this guy in 2 shots. And I think we resisted all his damage too. Yeah, so we took no damage from him. So things are getting better from us. We had a pretty hard time at the start, but things will definitely improve now. He got 1 shot off. We get a headgear. So the -1 ranged is not great for us, but I think the counterpoint of accuracy and the intelligence, since intelligence also gives us a range, it's actually net 0 range. So it's good to know what each of the character stats do and what each of these stats do. It can be a little bit to take in, but if you're a melee character, you probably just want to focus on strength and a little bit in constitution and athletics. If you're a ranged character, you're pretty much all about dexterity and ranged. So you can kind of simplify it a little bit, but definitely it's worth getting to know the stats and what they do if you want to get better. Again, junk and junk, I'll just ignore it. Junk is usually better than nothing in a slot, so just as an example, I'll pick this up. +1 defense is not nothing, right? So if we had nothing in that slot like previously, if we hadn't found our X-Shine Resplendence, then we might want to consider putting the mid-cord gift. But I think overall the benefit of the common headgear is greater. That's the other thing here is this one doesn't offer any defensiveness. It's a very aggressive piece of headgear. Intelligence is all accuracy, attack, and item effect. So if you were purely trying to buff your defensive stats, you might want to just wear the mid-core gift. So, but we don't care about it. We do have a chest here. As you can see, it's a lock power of 12. Our crew chunk now does up to 14, and we have an old battery to top up our soup points. So we will use our crew chunk to open this. So it cost us, I think, 7 SP. Yep, so that soup points here went down by 7. The SP did, and we unlocked the chest, which gave us 6 XP just for unlocking it, and then we get to see what's inside of it. And there's a buzzing toy. This is probably going to be pretty useless to us. Oh, 32 damage isn't too bad, actually. But that'll quickly become redundant as our range damage goes up. So, but we'll hold on to it for now, for certain. Let's see, what else we got? We're going to go through this door. Go through here. Here we go, we've got our way open. Going to shoot these rats, though. Oh, he keeps stepping away, there we go. Again, use our crude chunk to open the chest. Oh, it's too high a level. 15. Damn, and we only got up to 14. Okay. Well, that's the other reason you might sometimes want to carry around various different types of low-level gear, is if they gave you extra item effect, you can swap them in so that you can gain from the bonus item effect. So if you're healing or trying to unlock a chest. I definitely don't think it's worth unlocking this one. Chests get noticeably better the lower in depth you go, and we're at the highest depth level, so 1. We want to go down to 3 to be opening chests. At this point, it'll most likely drop junk or common items that we won't even put on. We can tank this. We took 1 damage, but I think 1 damage is worth the 2 XP in most cases. I think we're pretty much done here. I am just going to have a little re-explore just for the fun of it. Do I want that for the 3 XP? Yeah, go on. Yeah, we resisted all the damage and we gained 3 spare XP. I'm a bit of a power gamer sometimes. You definitely don't have to do this. I've played the game enough so that, how can I say it? Not every run is winnable if you're not power gaming, let me put it that way, but the vast majority are if you're just playing well, so you don't have to go through and do all this. But we're done on this level, so we will take the stairs down to the next level. Straight away, we go to depth 2 now, and apologies for the interruption. I experienced a crash in my game because I had accidentally placed a CSV file in the wrong folder. Luckily, the game does keep saves, so I'm going to pick up from where it crashed by loading the save game. And here we are. So, gonna pick up this heavy book. Wait for the scientist to come to me and shoot him. I might turn down the sound a little bit. Okay, here we go. So, fragile pincers, -1 dexterity, no, we don't want those. Oh, there's a scientist there. Wait for him to come to us, shoot him. Now let's see what this armament is like. It weighs the same. We gain constitution instead of strength and a carry. I don't think we'll use this. So pick up this, the unusual book, use it and the heavy book, and we gain a level. Going to go into Dex. 26 out of 60. Continue our journey. And shoot him. So we're now shooting guys, damaging them a lot quicker. Strange Doom. I don't think it's worth taking the damage to upgrade our crew chunk. So this one unlocks a door or chest, and as does this one. I think since we're going to get Expert Precision as our next manifestation when we get another level, and that will double our already quite high accuracy when using locks, and when we unlock something it factors in accuracy, so we should be able to unlock things quite easily pretty soon. I think it is at this point worth using a level point to heal. We only have 12 HP, so I'm going to heal up and keep moving on. Keep moving on. Shoot this guy. Shoot him. Shoot that. Oh, double scientist. And rescue our guy. So we got strange gear here. Gonna pick up the strange gear and the mecha spring. This is a significant upgrade. It's defensive mostly. But it's still a bit of an upgrade from our current helmet. I think we'll drop the consumer key for now. Also, I don't think, so our crew chunk, if I try to unlock this, it's going to say it's not powerful enough to unlock that. But if we put our helmet back on that had the intelligence on it, as you can see here, +1 intelligence, and intelligence adds to item effect, we will now be able to unlock this chest, getting us some duct tape, which we'll also use to heal up. And then we put our strange gear back on. That is why you quite often keep your gear that has intelligence on it, and the same with the crew chunk, until I think when we go to finish the level we'll come back for this consumer key. Oh, shoot that guy, shoot that guy. Another mutant. Now last time we'll save this guy first. You'll remember mutants were quite challenging for us. Now we quite easily just shoot them before they get to us. Let's see, are these better than our current gloves? We don't really care about attack, we lose 1 ranged, we gain 2 accuracy, lose an evasion, and gain power. So yes, these are better than our Splinter Resolve. What's this one? 17, so I think even with the extra 2 IPL, we would go up to 9, and then 20%, 18, so that's 11, 15. I think if we came back here, if we really badly wanted to open this chest, we could go and get the upgraded one that was here, but we will take some damage to do that. So I'm not sure it's worth it at this point. We already have green gloves, so I'm not even going to bother checking out these gloves. Now, what I'm actually going to do is, speaking of things, so this is right near the exit. So what I'm actually going to do is drop this and this. Actually, I might keep the crew chunk on me. I only need something. So this mecha spring. Oh, I've already got the mecha spring on me. So what I'm going to do is drop this consumer key here. Keep this on me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this mecha spring to jump over this. Because like I said, I want to have the extra weight. So now I've avoided 6 damage with that mecha spring. Which wasn't a lot. But it's also not insignificant. We have that dropped a green helmet, the durable shielding. I much prefer our strange gear that we're holding, so we're not going to bother picking it up. And here we didn't have something to jump over, so you saw we took the 6 damage. Oh, double mutant. Shoot him. Shoot him. Oh, he got a hit off on us. Which isn't great, but we can come back. We can heal with the adhesive strips. The war stop. I think we're going to use... Oh, no, we're not. Let's check out the clumsy whip. Is the clumsy whip better than what we're currently using? Maybe. I will open up our dexterity, and we have enough for expert precision as well. So now we probably don't need... see, for this we can open it because we got our upgraded manifestation. So we basically count 26 accuracy, which is a lot for unlocking things. So we can go back this way, and we're not going to go over that toxicity. This one, 11 with 5 deaths and 7 evasion. We would probably take somewhere between 1 and 6, so on average about 3. And the gear we'll get from it is probably better than that. So I might think about opening that. First, I'm just going to go and open all these doors, the locks. We can leave this level now. I don't think we cared about that, especially now that we don't care about this either, seeing as we can more easily open those, which means we also don't care about... Well, don't we care about it? So I think this will give us more accuracy. It does, by quite a long shot. And then now that's only 7. Our def went down and so did our evasion, but I think now we still on average take much less. And there we go, we defended all of it. Read our boring book. So I will keep the strange gear and this in our inventory. We have the buzzing toy and the war stop for the final level. This is a bit of a question. So this is net positive weight. So it weighs 1 and strength gives us 2 carrying. So we actually, if we equip it, we will essentially be gaining 4 weight, 4 carry. But we've got quite a lot of room anyway. Does give us 1 extra ranged at close range, so that's kind of good. But it kind of doesn't as well because we lose intelligence, which is 1 ranged. So we actually just lose 1 at range 2 and 3. We gain some resistance. I think I'll keep it around in case we get full up of our weight and we want to swap our dag tool out. We can keep our consumer key, and I think we're on to the next level. So This locked chest here is exactly why, first we're going to shoot this vermin, exactly why I say you should buy a consumer key at the start. So a power of 27 or less, and this one has a power of 19. Now we could potentially take that 16. We would be taking about 10 damage, but this consumer key will stop that. We might find a better chest than that, so we might actually hold on to the consumer key for now. I might drop it here just to remind me to come back to it maybe. But we will take the Mecho Spring. This we can open without much trouble. Come up here. Ooh. Shoot him as well. Ah! We got a Dakota Lock anyway. Dakota Lock is a higher level than the consumer key, so I'm actually going to use the consumer key on here now. Beggar's Boots. What are our boots? We have 1 range, -1 accuracy, they're quite defensive. This has -1 internet though, so no, we don't want the Beggar's Boots. Now, you might have heard a noise, kind of like a mysterious noise. When you open these chests, it's a bit of a secret. If it's a blue or better chest, you get to reveal an Empire Shipping Company location. So we might go to the Stellarport at some point in this run. We should shoot this guy. Oh, he got us. Oh, we got a blood gift, which is quite a good accessory. And we'll come down here and save our guy. Come up here, heal this, take some strips, shoot this guy, open this chest. Is this better than, what do we have? Armor is green, so no, we're not going to bother with whites. We got a green accessory, so we're not going to bother with this accessory. Coming through here. Shoot that guy, another mutant. So you'll notice the way the level scalings usually work is that, see now those mutants, they're prolific, but we're not threatened by them, realistically. I want to open this lock because it's free experience. I want to open that door too, just so I'm not fooled into coming back for it. Explore this hallway, nothing of note. Oh, there we go, a mutant. Open this, read our strange book. Almost gained a level. Oh, here we go, a deviant. So at this point, it might be good to use one of our items. We've got a buzzing toy that will deal 32 damage, which is 6 more than our range would deal. We've also got our war stop, which would defend us for a little bit of damage. I think, and we also got that Mecho Spring, so once he gets closer, so we can shoot from here, we could use the, we could shoot until he got close to us, and then we could Mecho Spring away. What I think is best here is to buzzing toy him, shoot again, and I think we're just going to keep shooting him. So he did 11 damage, that's not too bad, we're just going to kill him. So we go, we got a decent amount of experience for that. Again, I think dexterity, we're not too stressed about our weight, and we can gain an extra 4 using our clumsy whip at any time. So let's go into dexterity and keep exploring. What's our clumsy heirloom do? Heirloom. Stat boosting, that's quite nice. So we'll definitely be keeping that. And we'll probably be using it when we fight the boss room, but I'll explain when we get to the boss room about that. We're not a melee character, so we don't care about that. So, if we open this door, here is the boss room on every level. Now, because we're doing a hostage mission, we'll just see another one of the deviants that we saw before, as well as I think 2 mutants. But if you were doing a boss mission, so one of those ones, like the Juggernaut would be in here. This is the final the final thing. So we might even want to pop our war stop before we engage. And we did just that. And we open the ornate door and we start shooting at this guy. So now he is going to hit us for... He's probably going to do about 11 damage, except he does what, 31 base? Yes. With our 21 points of defense, 10 of that should defend it, so we should take very little, maybe single digits damage from him in this attack. So we took 2 damage, like I said. So that avoided... it can't defend all of it. It only defends half, so we managed to dodge the attack. He had 15 incoming. Of that 15, the maximum it could reduce is 7, so that's why we're at 4. If he could hit again, which he can't, it would reduce it further. But we just saved ourselves 7 hit points with that, which is quite good. Step forward, shoot this mutant, shoot this mutant, there we go. We've also got a robust piston here. Unfortunately, again, this is a melee weapon. It's a quite nice melee weapon. It is also, though, quite heavy, so we might consider going back with that. But let's first save our 2 little citizens. The Sheetox Piercer. Again, it's a melee weapon, so we are not interested. We might come back for this, because we might want to take that back to our atomizer. Anything down here interesting? No, it doesn't seem so. And shoot this, shoot him. Shoot him. Shoot him. Check what's in this chest. Compare that to what we've got. Let's see. No, definitely what we're using right now is way better for us, so it's not our fantasy. Okay, so I believe we've completed our quest. We have. Hooray. So when we return, we'll get the extra 11 Empire Renown, and we'll probably then go to Scraphaven. For now, let me think what's best to do. We didn't end up using our clumsy heirloom to fight that guy because we decided to use our shield instead. So we'll hold on to this. We'll hold on to this as well. We might want to, I think, drop this. If we put on this and we drop this and what was the dag toll, I think then there we go, 44. So we'll be able to go back. Now we could try and teleport back with everything. Clicking down here teleports, or going on to the returner down here. But we'll try clicking on here, and it says carrying too much to do that. So that is why we are not going with the dag toll or the resplendence. Now, when we get back, we can atomize things to get extra resonance. We currently have 1 resonance. We will be able to atomize this. Now, common gives you 1. The good gives you 2. And excellent gives you 3. So we could take back 3 1s. Actually, is that better for us? Can we still carry that much? We can. And then we could even take back 4 1s. So if we can find another 1, or if we can find another good or common thing, then it's actually better than taking back that. How much does this weigh, though? This might... Oh, no, I don't think it does, actually. There we go. In explaining why it was good to do one thing, I worked out that it was actually better to do this other thing. So it'll be better to take back and put these 4 things into the atomizer than that 1. But if we had less space in our inventory, or if we just wanted to take this 1 weapon to trade, it might be better. There's 3 trade places. Scraphaven doesn't really trade in weapons. I won't explain who will, I'll leave that discoverable, but just so you know. And that was the first level. We'll return back to our base. We're going to drop the piercer in there, which we will atomize. We gain 1 resonance. We will drop the triumph in there and atomize. And we will drop the resplendence in there and atomize. Oh, actually, and the dagtoll. I forgot about that one. Seeing as I think we'll want to be keeping onto the clumsy whip now to keep our weight quite nice. Now, what else can we do? So we now have 10 resonance. We didn't get enough for this artifact, unfortunately. We can get a trade item. This would be very good because what we're intending to do from here, now that we have our 23 Empire Renown, is we're actually going to go to Scraphaven. We'll gain 12, that's trade points, as well as being able to buy the trade items. So let's do that. And then there we go. We got our rare trade goods that we're going to take. And they'll sell for also 12, so we'll be able to have 24 worth of, which is about an artifact worth. So I think let's head on over. So we could go to do a mission if we wanted to. We could go to the Stellarport or the Water Temple, but I think it's best to go to Scraphaven from here. Now your missions to other places, normally when you do a mission you get 3 depths. So any other of these missions, there'll be 3 depths, and when you get to the bottom, you kill the guys and you finish the mission and you return back to your ship. But for peace missions, you have 0 objectives and you don't get any reward. At the end of it, you always get renowned with the situation that you went with. So if you went to Scraphaven, you'll get Empire Renown. And for the other 2 that you get revealed from that type of renown, you'll get more renown for going there. So you're usually best off, depending on your sort of your overall game plan, going back to the same settlement that you've been to previously. We are going to dive right into going to Scraphaven now. One thing I will say is that it could have been worth potentially dispensing one of these and using them to trade at the settlement, but I think I'd rather held on to my resonance. I don't have a lot and there's things that I might want to buy, so I'm kind of going to save it up. But now we're going to jump right into Scraphaven. So we arrive in Scraphaven, and if you saw these people everywhere and panicked, then I don't blame you. But everyone here is friendly to you. You can't shoot them, you can't attack them. If you try and move, they'll swap places with you. So there's no real threat in the settlements. You have merchants that will buy certain things from you depending on what type of merchant they are. So this looks like a general merchant. They would buy our rare trade goods. Oh no, they don't. They don't buy consumable items. What do they buy? Let's go to here. He buys headgear and accessory. He has a nice helmet. It's a rare helmet. Range 5 on that headgear would be nice. So we might consider that when we come back. There's also this pike here, which is a slight upgrade to our pistol. It's a green instead of the white that we're using. I think this guy also sells headgear. It does. This one buys consumables. So this is a general store. There's a nice accessory here. I don't think it's worth us getting this one either. Down here is, that's a really nice, it's a melee weapon. But that's the first artifact that we've seen in this playthrough, so that would be an epic arcane artifact. And for only 18, that's a really cheap one. That is insanely cheap. So, how do I say this? this is one of the advantages for if you go hybrid. If you go a hybrid build, you're open to either type of weapon. This is almost good enough. We've already spec'd 4 points into dexterity, so I don't think it's worth. I think we're specifically range, but this would be almost worth switching our techs for. This is also a melee weapon, so we won't be using this. This final shop over here is always empty shelving. They buy consumable items. I've been considering making this a general store instead of an empty store. The main reason I was thinking is that I want more open space, because for some reason I expected that you'd be coming to these settlements and trying to dump out your full inventory worth of stuff, but in playtesting I found that's not the case. So this will probably be a general store in future patches, but for now it's just basically a purchasing store. If you come down here, now each layout is different in every settlement. This is Scraphaven's layout, so come through into here and we have the main control room with the master. He will give us rewards for our quest. So the first thing we do is we talk to him, and he said he's upgraded our atomizer, which is great. If we go back onto our ship, it'll be upgraded now, so it'll dispense better items. And then we talk to him again, and he's given us our 12 to spend. So you go into our quests and you see that trading with locals, we now have an extra 12 to spend. Trade points, if you don't use them at the end, they're also converted to renown, so that's how it can be sometimes convenient to come back to the same settlement. Is it'll refresh the shops and you'll have some extra renown to go with them. So I think we're going to get this robust pledge. It's quite nice, so I think we'll spend 8 of our stuff on that. And let's see, how good is it? We lose a constitution, we lose hit points, we lose a lot of hit points actually, as well as some evasion, but we gain 1 defense because constitution is worth 2. It's slightly heavier, about 2 points heavier, but we gain 4 range and accuracy, and 4 range and accuracy is quite good for us, so we're happy to have that. How much better is this than what we have? An into negative athletics. It's quite heavy. No, I don't think that's worth us going for. What type? We've got a green one of those. Is this any good? Int and POW's not too bad. Attack negative 2 we don't care about. But no, this, I think our blood gift is actually better. However, now we're 2 over. So we're actually going to drop the robust pledge that we just bought. And we are going to sell our rare trade goods to... We'll come back to pick this up later. We'll sell our rare trade goods because they're quite heavy. I think what we actually want to do, so we'll still equip this, but I think we'll keep this and we'll keep this and we'll atomize it back when we get to our ship rather than sell it here. We currently have 23. We'll be gaining 11 when we leave here, going up to 34. So we'll probably come back here at some point with our extra renown. But for now, we've swapped a blue for a red, which wasn't too bad. Upgrade our atomizer. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Oops. Well, there you go. I accidentally bought the deadly pike in the end. Yeah, we might as well keep it now. We do go a lot over our weight though. So, let's drop the deadly pike. And we will have to sell the strange gear because we don't have enough to carry it back. So I think we're going to have to sell it to this guy. There we go. And not clumsy heirloom, deadly pike. Oh man, even the clumsy whip, we're way down now. Okay, so we're going to drop the Deadly Pike, come back down here, and sell our Meko Spring. And our Dakota Lock. Dakota Lock. And we're going to come back here, pick up our Deadly Pike, equip our Deadly Pike, and there we go. Okay, so that's not the worst. We did accidentally buy the Deadly Pike. So probably the next power up we get will go for power or athletics to make it so we can actually carry things. But we are looking quite good as far as our range damage goes. I think we'll be going into the next level relatively well equipped. So let's jump in there now. And how much? We're going to drop the Clumsy Whip and atomize it. How much is the old battery? 0. Keep our Clumsy Heirloom. So we now have 10 resonance. This is not really anything that I want here. How are we going? So we've only got this, the Water Temple, which actually turns out to be great for us because Water Temple is full of high evasion enemies and we have high accuracy. So 36 threat is quite a lot. It's quite a threatening one. We'll get a lot of resonance and we'll actually up our Vaulter's renown as well. So we'll be able to visit the Vaulters, potentially, if we feel like it. So... we've already taken a bunch from the Triffid. That was rough. We might come back to that chest. Yeah, let's shoot this guy. Here we go. We got a Strange Fantasy. Let's see. Our current one is like that. Is 5. So this is 4. No, I think we're happy with what we're wearing. We don't need a Strange Fantasy. So here we're quite close to leveling up. The Boring Book will give us 5, so not that much, but we're only 25 away, so we might actually use a point to heal now. We can open this. Oh, another one of these, jeez. There we go. So we're going to get Talon of the Empire. We get a lot of extra range damage, so +1 for each dexterity point, which is perhaps 10, as well as shoot to activate doors and switches. Now, we have 36 out of 38. I think it's worth actually picking up a power at this point, just to give us some more carry capacity. So... gonna rescue a prisoner again. So this is this glorious part of the door. This skill that I got is that we can open doors at a range. Oh boy. There we go, we got him. So that one's 24. What was this one up here? 20. So we'd probably rather open that one. But we will wait until later to see if we get any better gear doing other things. Shoot him. Oh boy. A lot of Triffids in this level. Is the Death Fantasy better than the other one? Dexterity is good. We lose a Strength and Intelligence to gain Dexterity and Constitution. I think I like that. It will be heavier. No, I think this is actually better. And we drop this, and there we go. Good thing, so the weight, good thing we did take a power so that we can equip that. And I think we'll heal again, because we're quite low. This is not a ranged weapon, so we're not interested. Take the buzzing toy. Well, we probably won't actually, because actual shoot is better than the buzzing toy. Speed booster. We can't carry it because we don't have. So what I might do, because as I recall, there's a Triffid just around here, is I'm gonna use my clumsy heirloom to gain some stats, and then I think it's worth teleporting in. There we go. So 5 damage. So it might have been a waste to use that teleport there. It might have actually been better to take the damage, but either way, that's what I did. So that's one of those things where I thought I was being clever, and I kind of was, but you kind of also, when I say it, risk the clever play syndrome where you think you're being smarter than you actually are. All good, some duct tape to heal. Oh, there we go. So that was 8. 9 is 17. So 27. It was much of a muchness using the point to heal. We will have to use a point here. There we go. Another peculiar book. Step in the water. Oh my goodness. Wait until the wet wears off. Durable heirloom. Clumsy. Is this better than what we have? We lose a ranged and a dexterity. So, no, it's not. Oh, jeez, these guys. Holy mollies! Okay. What are we going to do here? I think we're going to heal. So we might even just not want to engage down there. What's this? We'll take none opening this. We get a peculiar book, which gives us a level up, which I think we're still going to go into dexterity. Let's see. I think what we might even do though is use this twice. Heal again. Oh, and a healing kit. That was a good pickup there. I don't think it's worth engaging that guy. I think we just leave from here. Well, you know what though? I think it is actually worth coming back and, well, first taking the speed booster and considering opening one of those chests. See, this is 14, which means this is going to be even less. So this now is 10, and we have def, so we're probably only going to take 3 at most. We took 2. And we got a net flicker. It is a bit heavier than we anticipated though. And we will also use our 2 old batteries. I think... So I'm going to show you a little trick that you can do if you're patient enough. Is you can actually use it like this. What's the range on this? 16 tiles? So we couldn't use it to teleport into range of that guy if we can be bothered taking it through the entirety of the level. What we can do, so here's my plan, right, is, I think he was here, so what we can do is we can go to like here. Oh, that was too close. There we go. And you heard that noise again, that spooky noise? from using a high-level item, we actually got the Neuropolis revealed, because a strong sensation of being studied. And let's go back and get our other item that we dropped back here. Where is it? I think it was all the way back here. And you know what? I'm even feeling risque enough to open this chest. How much we took? 5? For a Medi container, which will heal us for 50 hit points. So that was definitely worth it. We took 5 to heal for 50. That's the power of this skill as well, this expert precision, because it's doubling our accuracy as we take a lot less from these chests than we would, making them very effective. So I think now we can leave this level. We'll step into the water and go down to the next level. I think from here you've probably learnt enough of how the game works. Oh boy, let's take on this guy first. There's a stunner there which we might take, so we'll have a look at these things and then we'll go. Oh wow, 3 different items. So currently the way these traps, quotation marks, the things are implemented is Aqua's not that scary because it just makes you wet. So this one's not as scary as the toxic, where we ignored them before. So we might be able to upgrade our clumsy heirloom with one of these things, as well as get a stunner. But that is all stuff for next episode. If I just show you here, go resume, see subject has been saved to the game saves folder, so I'll be able to restore it from a game save at a later point. But for today, that's all. I'm going to press exit. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, follow my itch.io. There'll be a demo up sometime, maybe in August, hopefully soon, and there'll be a Steam page as well. I hope you all have an amazing day, and goodbye.